What is up, everybody? Welcome into episode 52 of the Brahma Bullpen. And before you change the channel, as you can tell, we got a different backdrop for this week's episode. We got a new football team coming to San Antonio. The International Football Alliance is coming to San Antonio. They're going to be playing at the UIW Stadium. I'm not breaking any news there. That was announced a long time ago. But your boy Brahma Bullpen, it's the off season. We're coming in here. We got college football fixing to start. As you can see, I'm wearing my Aggie gear. I wanted to go a little spring football neutral because I don't know what the relationship's going to be like between the UFL and IFA, where they're going to be competing and be friendly. But here in San Antonio, I'd like to be able to cover both teams. So this is my first episode covering the IFA. But we're getting into the football season. It's pretty crazy because we got college football coming up. We got NFL obviously coming up. That's going to go all the way up and through February. And then right in February, we're going to have the UFL kickoff again. That's going to get us into June. The IFA is going to start in June. So we'll even have IFA playing while the UFL has some playoff games, just depending on timing and things like that. But here on behalf of the United Football Media Group, if I didn't mention that already, we're going to focus on covering both NFL-style football teams here in San Antonio. We also have another football team down here in San Antonio called San Antonio Gunslingers, an indoor football league. I don't really cover them so much. I'm trying to focus on NFL-style football. Two teams is enough to cover anyways. But here on United Football Media, we're basically just a channel that loves football. We love covering football. We got tons of shows coming out. We got some off-season shows fixing to drop. Watch for that. But because I'm local and I'm here in San Antonio, I had the distinct privilege of being able to attend the open tryout for the International Football Alliance San Antonio team. Why do I keep calling them the International Football Alliance San Antonio team? Well, that's because they don't have a team name yet. But one thing that's cool is they're letting the fans vote on the name of the team, which is pretty neat. So if you don't like it, it's going to be your own fault for not voting, right? It's kind of like president, right? If you don't like the president and you didn't vote, I don't know. Let's not get politics. Anyways, we're going to just talk football. Don't bring none of that nonsense in here. But here's the X poll. As you can see, the Chupacabra's got a lead over the Stampede. If those of you don't know or not from South Texas, or I don't know exactly where the Chupacabra legend all extends to here in the United States of America, but down here in South Texas, in reality, a Chupacabra is a coyote that got mange and died on a farm, and some pictures went wild on the internet. Just Google it. In folklore, a Chupacabra is like a blood-sucking wolf dog type creature that attacks farmers' crops, and then there might even be some more stories about it that I don't know, but it's actually a coyote with mange. But hey, that's cool. It's kind of our thing down here in South Texas, Chupacabras. We tell stories about them, scare little kids. San Antonio Canyons, I totally get where that's coming from. We have the Battle of Gonzales, where essentially they put a sign on a cannon that said, "Come and take it," right? And told Santa Anna's army there in all those battles for Texas independence to come on over here and take this cannon if you want it. And then, of course, if you go to Alamo, downtown San Antonio, you can see the downtown San Antonio live backdrop we got here. But if you go to the Alamo down there, there's also markers where some of the cannons that were used in that battle there. So cannons make sense for South Texas history as well. Then you got the Stampede. Stampede is a team I voted for, the team name I voted for. I feel like it's more footballish. I don't know if Chupacabras and cannons are very footballish, even though those are very quality names. I do like them. Side point, we have a minor league baseball team here called the San Antonio Missions. That's pretty cool. And for like a few weeks a year, they change their name to the Flying Chanclas here in San Antonio. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to have some kind of crazy name. Flying Chanclas is because like old grandmas throw their shoes at. A chancla is a flip-flop for those of you that don't speak South Texas. But old grandmas throw their flip-flops at people. So I've had shoes thrown at me, and my grandma's, white. So it happens down here. It's part of the culture. Anyways, then you got Nagals. That's a weird name. I had to Google what a Nagal was. It's basically like warriors that embrace their spirit animal in battle down on the Amazon. I don't know, some kind of deal. So you can see no one likes that name because no one knows what it is. But hey, thanks for putting it in there. So I voted for Stampede. It'd be kind of cool, right? Because we're the Brahma Bullpen, and then if we get a San Antonio Stampede team down here, then we can just call ourselves the Brahma Stampede and keep on rolling with the cow pasture. Here on United Football Media, I do live in a cow pasture. I once broadcast from a literal cow pasture with cows like looking at me, but now I got a house in the cow pasture and I got this beautiful room, but I still have a cow pasture 50 feet away from me. So it all goes together. We come to you from the cow pasture on behalf of United Football Media, and maybe we'll be talking some Brahmas and some Stampede in the near future. This episode here is to talk about the IFA. They had an open tryout here in San Antonio. Your boy was lucky enough to attend that tryout. As you can see here, they posted it. It was on July 20th. The episode's coming out a little bit late. It is the off season, and obviously I do this for fun. So I went on vacation. Look, I'll just be honest with you guys. Me and my wife and my parents and brother-in-law and their kids, we went on vacation, took a couple of weeks off, and it was pretty awesome. But, need to do that sometimes. I even got my grass mowed. When the football starts going year-round, when the IFA gets going, UFL going, NFL going, college going, I don't know who's going to cut my grass, but, someone's going to have to do it. Ain't going to be. I might have to get producer to go out there and cut my grass for me. Producer's been known to do menial labor from time to time to earn beer money and football ticket money. Hey, and it's respectable. I'm not talking trash. Go to work, earn some money, spend it on football. That's the way the world turns. But anyways, we'll go over a little bit of information on the team tryouts. There was like 20 players at the tryout. Not too many of the coaches made it here, and there wasn't a whole bunch of players, but the players that were here were quality players. I was given permission to quote Mark Lozano, if I didn't mention it. Mark Lozano, Director of Player Personnel, was there running the tryout because there wasn't coaches able to make it because of the whole Microsoft CrowdStrike faulty update security problem. No planes were flying for those few days, and it was actually right when we were doing they were doing the tryouts here in San Antonio. So they used some local coaches to kind of help out with the tryouts, and Mike Lozano was able to make it, so it was kind of cool. I got to talk to him, meet with him, and I was given permission to quote him that there was definitely players at this tryout that are going to get camp invites, going to get contracts probably to play for a San Antonio team. One of the players has already been named, and we'll cover that here in a little bit. One of the cool things about Mike Lozano being there was he spent as much time mentoring players as men and giving them life lessons as he actually did talking to them about football, which is pretty wild to think about, right? Like, he's here talking football, looking for talent, but at the same time, he's talking to these guys about attitude, about work ethic, about success in life, and things you need to do to be successful. One of the things that he kept reiterating to them is they weren't looking for just talented players. They were looking for players that fit the league as well. So I even heard him say one time, "We don't want no prima donna wide receivers here." I could definitely see that, where you want players that are looking for that opportunity. So we'll talk about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just play some highlight videos that I took while I was there watching open tryouts and just kind of talk about it a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get that rolling now. Here's some linebacker drills going here. Feel free to post questions in the comment if you see something specific. The offensive side of the ball was running a lot of mesh. The How Mummy offense pretty much has a mesh concept, and they take that concept and they adjust it a few different times. Basically, the mesh is two wideouts coming across the middle, most of the time short routes. Most of the time they'll cross each other, try to get one of those picks on the defenders that don't always get called, and then they'll have a couple guys going deep. Sometimes a running back will also go out on the wing and go deep. Sometimes they'll go short. They adjust that based upon whether or not the defense is playing man or zone, on how far across the field they run, or if they stop in that zone. So you can see some mesh concepts. Here's a hitch going on right here. But like I said, Mike Lozano said there were some good players out there. This tryout, all this video was taken on July 30th. The team owner, there's a video out. If you look for the Brahma Bulletin on the Alternative Football Network, Me and him literally sit like 2 seats from each other at the Brahmas games, and I see him at every event that I go to. So he's doing a heck of a job covering the team. Shout out to him. But he had a great interview with Steve Foley, who is the owner of the San Antonio International Football Alliance San Antonio football team. So if you want to learn more about him and his ideas for the league, feel free to go check that out. Our head coach is Hal Mummy. Obviously, we all know who he is. He is the inventor, or one of the inventors, or co-inventor, or maybe the inventor of the air raid offense, that Mike Leach ran and others. So it's kind of cool. We had A.J. Smith as the offensive coordinator for the San Antonio Brahmas. We got the International Football Alliance team, both running the air raid offense. And we like points. We like high-scoring games and points. We do like defense in Texas as well, but we do like points. And then we got Stan Bedwell. He's going to be the offensive coordinator and assistant GM of the team. Those are the only team position specifics that I know at this time. There might be more out there on the internet, but I haven't ran across them yet. But feel free to check them out. Some of the pictures you see here, you will see Mike Lozano in the pictures. He was coaching up the D-line and O-line guys. And then other players, these volunteer coaches from local San Antonio, were kind of working the rest of the team through offense. I'm not going to say any names, but there was players at the tryout for the International Football Alliance that were already signed to other alternative football teams. How about that? We'll leave it like that. We won't call nobody out. But that, to me, I pointed out because I think it's pretty cool, because it's not just fans that are excited about this league. It's players, right? Players are always looking for ways to get better, to prolong their dream of playing football, and moving on from there. So it's pretty neat. One of the guys on the field is a D-back named Nicholas Black. He's one of the players. You can see him there in the turquoise shorts right there if you're watching the film right now. But he's one of the players that were put on the list to get called up, so look for him to at least be in camp for the International Football Alliance next year. He played for the Cancun IFA team 2 years ago, so he's kind of used. This is a new league, but not a new league. They already had been playing in Mexico, but now they're expanding to the teams of San Antonio. For a full list of teams, look at the IFA's website. They pretty much got all their teams there that are going to be playing next year, so that's pretty cool. There was about 20 guys there. From what I could tell, there was 2 D-line guys, there was 4 linebackers, there were 3 secondary players, there were 6 wide receivers and 2 quarterbacks, all trying out for the team. So it was pretty cool to be able to see all that stuff. There was also a kicker there. So let's go ahead and go through that now. We're going to stop the highlight video, and I'll kind of put up this little post here of Caleb Sutherland. So Sutherland went to the tryout. He was the only kicker there, and he did get a official camp invite. He's excited to go to work for San Antonio. His stats right here read like this. He was 28 out of 36 in field goals in his college career with a long of 54, and he was 82 out of 83 extra points in his career, and he earned all Sun Belt honors at ULM. He also, as you could tell in this picture, kicked for Oklahoma. So he got that camp invite, and you can already see people, making dreams come true. You see that picture right there in the middle? That's Coach Lozano there working with them guys. That big dude in the red shirt, I don't know his name, sorry, but I did hear him talking and did hear some of the coaches talk about him. They were very impressed that he was out there trying out for the team. He's not quite as young as the rest of the guys out there, but as you can see, he's a swole guy, likes to spend some time in the gym, so good for him. But watch for some releases to come out on this. There was a couple players out there. As you're watching the video, you'll see a guy wearing a blue long sleeve shirt. His name is Jaleel Ali. He's actually a business owner. He owns Apex Athletics that works out of San Antonio. Check them, out of Houston, not San Antonio. He's at the San Antonio tryout. But he was obviously the fastest guy on the field during this tryout. Look him up at Athletics Apex on X. But at the end of the tryout, I kind of went up to him and was like, hey, what does it feel like to be the fastest guy on the field, right? And one step ahead of everybody. He did good. He talked a little bit about the tryouts. He played cornerback in arena football. At this tryout, he was trying out for wide receiver. So he's played both sides of the ball, and he made it clear to the coaches, I'll play either side of the ball you want me to play on. So it's pretty neat to think about playing cornerback, knowing how to defend routes, and then being a wide receiver, knowing how to run routes. It kind of gives you a little bit of an advantage, right? But it's just one of those things. League of opportunity, league of the future. And like I said, here at United Football Media, we're going to try to cover the team as best we can. Hope you got at least a little bit of enjoyment out of the clips from camp. We weren't really given too much access to the players, and I didn't want to be like a weirdo running out there like trying to talk to everybody and all that stuff. I'm not a shy guy, but I'm an anti-awkward guy, so I don't like doing things that are awkward. But I do love football, and I do love the fact that the International Football Alliance is coming to San Antonio. Can't wait for them to announce the team name and get more details. But keep an eye here on United Football Media. Keep an eye on the Brahma Bullpen. We're going to try to give you as much coverage as we can from the UFL and from the IFA, and see what we can do to help these spring football leagues grow, last, and all have fun, right? With that, we're going to end this like we always do with the horns forward. Let's give them a Gig-'em Aggies, and let's do how about them Cowboys? And we don't know what the International Football Alliance San Antonio team is going to be called, but we'll end it with a Puro San Antonio, baby. Let's go.